Welcome everybody, this is Dave and this is my series on building a wire fence around the garden. If you like what you see here, then by all means like and subscribe, and if you know somebody who you think this video may help, then by all means please share it with them. Without any further ado, let's start building the fence. Okay, so here we are with the fence. First step with the fence is we're going to have to put some posts in, but before we can even do that, so I don't know, maybe the real first step, maybe putting the posts in the second step. Actually might be about the third step. It might actually, because we got to dig the holes. Anyway, what we need to do is to know where we're going to put the fence. And to know where to put the fence, we're going to drive some stakes in the ground and we're going to run a string around them. And we're going to run a string the length of where we want the fence to go. Just like the ancient Egyptians did, just like the ancient Romans did, anybody who ever built anything throughout history. You run a string, the string is a straight line. That can help you, that will guide you to make sure you have a straight line also. So let me turn you around and I'll show you what I got here real quick. Okay, so here's my lumber, and I just wanted to talk about this real quick for a second. So first of all, here's my stakes. These are cast off old tomato stakes. Some of them, a couple of them were from when I made a trellis to go over my sunflowers. I put netting over it to keep the birds off of them one year. Haven't used these in a while, so went ahead and cut them down, and we're going to make these into stakes. If you've been with me any time at all, you know that I'm all about reuse and repurpose. Brand new stakes at Lowe's. I just checked the price online. 18 inches, a 12 pack of these, not nearly as heavy duty either, would be, I think it was $8. So I just saved $8 easily. No problem. Bam, just like that. 2 cups of fancy coffee or lunch at the cafeteria or whatever else. 2 gallons of gas. It's kind of sad that $8 really doesn't get you much anymore. So anyway, we're going to put those in the ground. I'm going to show you how to do it because there's a certain way we want to do it on the corners. Got some plain twine here. This is jute string. It's biodegradable. I use it in the garden all the time. Once I'm done with this project, I will for sure repurpose that and use it to tie up tomato plants and the like. Now I'm trying not to get into the light here. Let me pull that off. These are the posts I'm going to use. These are not repurposed. These are brand new and they're from Lowe's. They are they call them 3 by 5 by 8, but they're really, this distance here is about 2.5 inches. These are landscape timbers. You find them in the garden center. They're 8 feet long, and what they have, if I can pull one of these out here so you can kind of see, is they're semi-rounded. So as you can see, we got a curve here, but we got smooth here, and that's on both sides, so it's smooth opposite that. We're going to lay this fence out so that these smooth sides will be the sides that receive the cross members, the boards that make the fence, as well as the netting that will hopefully keep the rabbits out. Why did I use these? I originally went in there to use 4x4 posts, traditional 4x4 by 8 posts, which that's the nominal. They actually come out to being about 3.5 by 3.5. Those posts, which are treated and ground and pressure treated and rated for ground contact, are $12. These posts, which are pressure treated and rated for ground contact, but are not, they don't have the same they don't have the same, you know, they're not as the same, they're not as big around, they're not as thick, whatever you want to call it. They're just slightly smaller. Instead of $12, these are $5.50. I can literally buy these for half the price of buying 4x4 posts. So guess what I did? Those posts are pressure treated. They're rated for ground contact. They're going to be sunk into concrete anyway, and they will withstand the elements. They are landscape timbers designed to be in contact with the ground all the time. So that's what we're going to go with. Those are going to be our vertical posts, and we're saving about $6 a post. And considering that I've got quite a few to put in here, we are that's going to be a substantial sum of money. We're doing the tractor today. I do have this implement right here. This is a auger which drives post holes. I'm very blessed to have it. This would be a monumental chore considering my ground is solid clay if I did not have that. We have a mark on here if you look. So there it is. Basically this lowers, if you've never done with a tractor, this will lower down with a hydraulic. This spray painted mark that I put on here quite some time ago is 3 feet. This spray painted mark is 4 feet. That way when I am sitting up here in the seat, I can easily see when I get to where I want to go. These posts we want to do 3 feet. So I've got an 8-foot post. We're going to do them 3 feet deep. That leaves 5 feet out of the ground. The fence is going to be 4 feet high. So then we'll trim down afterwards when it's all done. All right, I'm going to get started. I'll show you the string when it's all lined up next. All right, so we got the first side, our string laid out. This 3-post formation, and while I don't know if this is exactly how they do it in construction, I think it's pretty close. I would love for someone to talk to me in the comments and let me know. What they think. So this allows me, this sort of formation allows that if you're going to turn the fence 90 degrees, it makes it much easier to do it. Now, on this end, you can see, I'm really not going to turn the fence 90 degrees. This is one of my deck boards. These will be the horizontal or the lateral pieces of the fence. Imagine just like a pasture fence, like a horse fence. There's going to be 3 boards, a bottom, a middle, a top. But underneath that is going to be rolls of wire that have been unrolled to keep the rabbits out. So, but we've got the that's later. We've got the I always get ahead of myself, don't I? And then I go off on rabbit hole tangents. I guess maybe I should have a script. What do you think? Should I read from a script? I don't know. It just always seems kind of sticky, stuffy. Anyway, here's the string. I hope you can see that. It's that brown string right there. And so we've got it running along here. This is one of the boards. I kind of just threw it out here for an idea. These boards are 8 feet long, which means every 8 feet, we need a post. So we're going to need a post right there. And then this is about 4 feet. And I did say in the last clip that I was only going to use these landscape timbers, but I guess I didn't lie. I just didn't think about it. So here, if you look, see how that is? That's a arched cattle panel. This is going to be an entrance into the garden. So we'll need a gate here. For the gates, I am going to use 4x4 posts. They're stronger. There's no doubt they're stronger. And as opposed to the fence, which is just static, the gates are going to have force on them as the post holding the gate is going to have force on it as the gate is, regularly opened and closed, and that will have a tendency to create some wear and tear and bow on the post. So here we go, back at the Jerusalem artichokes. Anybody want Jerusalem artichokes? I may be selling them next year. I have no idea what the breed is, but you can certainly see they're prolific. String continues down. String continues down. And here we are at the next corner of the garden, as you can see. So see where that's going to run right down. This is my potatoes. Going to run right down my potato row. Off in the distance there are some roses and a compost bin. So here's what I'm talking about. So the line comes in, it wraps around this post, it wraps around this post. Now I haven't continued it on, so I tied it off right here for the moment. There you can see there's the spool of line. But as soon as I untie that, I can leave these posts right here. I might have to adjust them a hair depending on what what I decide, but they're ready to go, and I just run more line straight off to the next thing. And by looking at this, let's see if you can see this. See that, where the two lines cross? Now I can, if I choose to be super precise, I can look at what the angle is there and make sure that I'm turning an exact 90-degree angle because of where those two lines cross. So that's the line. Looks like we're going to start digging some holes here. So we'll measure off 8 feet spacing, because that's what the boards are. 8 feet on center. Each board will get a couple inches of post on each side. And so we need to dig these holes with the big tractor drill bit, and we need to dig them pretty darn precise. So that'll be my next step. And this is moving right along this morning. So be back with you shortly. The first post is in, and that's pretty good for me. I would say I'm not going to get any more level than that. So that's where we're going to go. So just to keep you informed, we now have the first post in the ground. So we went ahead, and now we've got the string running right around that post. And I just ran it around that post because that's now the line. That's it. You can see the hole we dug, and then I've just tied it off there just to keep it snug so that there's not a lot of pressure on the post, because the post doesn't have concrete yet. It's simply got two supports here to keep it level, and we put a hitch on that right there to keep the line taut. So a couple updates. I showed you the auger and I showed you the marks on it, and what I told you was incorrect. The marks were 2 feet and 3 feet, not 3 feet and 4 feet. We're gonna, when we edit it, hopefully we did get that edit in at that part of the video, but it should be 2 feet and 3 feet. And the posts, I said were gonna be 3 feet. No, they're gonna be 2 feet. And the fence 4 feet, and then we're gonna trim the top depending on probably aesthetics and how I feel and what's going on and my mood at the moment. So the posts will come up above the fence some, but the wire part of the fence is, I'm going to get 4-foot bundles, so 4 foot wide. So the first post is in place. Now with that post in place, sorry, I had a tick crawl on me. With that post in place, we're just going to start banging them out with the tractor here. I'm going to start digging holes, and we're going to just knock these out every 8 feet, measure them off. I'm going to mark the line with a magic marker, and boom, 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 right down the row. That's how I'm going to get the holes. When I showed you the post there a minute ago, the hole is 4 inches wide. The post is 3.5. So we've got wiggle room in the hole to move that post and adjust it to just where we want it, fine tune it as they go in. And then we're going to prop each one up here. I'm not going to do any concrete right now. You can't concrete post one at a time and then dig and then concrete. We're going to do all the holes, all the posts, the whole way around, probably going to be like 20 posts. And then we're going to come back and start doing wet concrete, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. You can do dry concrete where you just pour the bag in there and then it hardens. And I have heard actually good results with that. But I'll see. And we'll save that for another part of the video, or probably, as long as this is gonna be another video. I imagine this is gonna get broken into parts, so we're gonna have sections here, three or four sections maybe of doing this. 8 or 9 minutes seems to be about y'all's attention span, and I always forget earlier in the video to ask for your support with likes and shares, and I think a lot of you are gone by the time I ask. So Maybe we can edit it and put this part up front. Hey, if you like what you see, subscribe and share with all your YouTube friends to help the algorithm show it who's boss. That's my 1980s DJ voice. Let me know if you want more of that. That's about it. I'm gonna dig some holes. I might set the camera up on the tripod and we'll do a little time lapse or something. And we got to get rolling here. I've spent a lot of time videoing and now I got to get busting it out. So I will see you shortly. Also, in case it needs to be said, my property, I know where every single power line, water line, sewage line, everything is located. We have a well, we have a septic tank, and I know exactly where all of those creatures are and where the piping and everything is to them. So if you don't know that on your property or you're not sure, please call someone to verify where your lines are before you do any digging that I talk about in this project. It will possibly save you an immense amount of pain, an immense amount of misery, and an immense amount of money. Say that 5 times fast. An immense amount of money. So, there's numbers you can call. I remember there used to be a phone. I don't remember what it was now. But the lady would always get at the end and go, call before you dig. Call before you dig if you don't know where your stuff is. Thank you. Okay, here we are, and the first part's done. First section of the video, anyway. I've still got plenty more holes to dig and plenty more posts to drop, but you get the idea. So each of these posts will, before I cement them in, concrete them in, whatever you want to call them. I almost said sediment them in. What I'll do is we're gonna frame them up just like we did that end post, make sure everything's level, square, plumb, and happy in regards to that sort of thing. And then we will measure them off again before the concrete's poured to make sure that they are suitable length for the boards. The only other thing I've got to do, I've got to do one more hole here for the other gate, and then we'll have to, I don't have any 4x4 posts, so we got to go get some 4x4 posts, because as I said earlier, we're going to use those for the gates. They're going to provide a little bit more strength, a little more support, since the gate structure is something that's going to be in motion and possibly have people leaning on it and pulling on it and all that kind of happy stuff. So I'm going to turn you around. All right, and then the magic of camera, there we are, you're turned around. Here's the holes. You can see I got a lot of clay in the soil. It's not conducive to digging, certainly not digging by hand. And so if we look down the row, I see one there that might be a little bit out of kilter there, that middle one. However, I'm willing to bet that I can maneuver that in the hole and we'll have it nice and straight by the time it's all set. So, got one a little bit out, might have to do some extra digging just to get it in line. That's not too bad. But then from, well, do you see the tripod down there? That's where the camera, yeah. See from there? That's where we turn the corner, and then we got to go the whole way across over there. And that's what I'm going to do off camera so I can get my work done, but you've got an idea what's going on here. So until next time, until the next section, stay safe, stay prepared, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.